If you've seen our previous videos, you know that travel for us used to be a lot about just packing our bags and booking flights and chasing the next moment. It was exciting, but also from time to time, it was a little bit exhausting. But then we bought a cabin on a residential cruise ship, the Villa Vie Odyssey, of course. And now travel is more woven into kind of our everyday existence, which is really cool. I mean, almost every morning we wake up in a different part of the world and we can explore just by walking outside of our front door, which is amazing. So in a sense, we kind of stopped traveling and we're just living again.
Now this is kind of nuanced. We've been thinking about this and of course experiencing it for a few weeks now. So we want to make sure we're being clear. Essentially, we're still exploring the world and we're still having wonderful experiences all over the place that are very different for us and of course very different from being at home. But now, instead of all the planning and the travel and the planes, trains, and automobiles and all that stuff, we're kind of doing it from our home base. And so to his point, we just kind of walk out the door. So this is becoming a very different experience for us and one that we're kind of really getting into. So today we want to share that with you. Hopefully that makes sense so far and kind of show you what we're talking about, along with sharing some of the things that we've done so far on the trip. So here's where we're going today.
At first, travel on the Villa Vie Odyssey felt pretty much like any other vacation. So we would rush off the ship at every port and try to cram in as much as possible. We felt like we had to make the most of every moment that we were there. So sometimes we would come back to the cabin and we would just be pretty much exhausted.
And let's admit, our previous cabin was kind of a squeeze. So frankly, it felt more like a hotel room than it did coming home. And recently we decided to upgrade to a bigger suite. And that's when things started to change. If you haven't seen that video, we did a video on that and we share the suite with you. Hey everybody, we want to welcome you to our new room, so come on in. This is it, and we'll get into details in a minute, but I want to kind of share it with you. This is our new room. As you can tell, we're moved in, and it's something that we're really digging so far. But once we kind of got into the larger space, we started to settle down a little bit. We didn't feel like we were so restricted. We have room to actually be almost like we are at home, and it really shifted our perspective. So now, of course, we're exploring the world. We're doing all the things that we talked about, but we're doing it with a home base that really does feel comfortable in our personal space. We always loved, of course, all the outside space and the public areas. But now when we come home, it feels like we're doing it from home. So we're integrating this travel into our real home space, not doing all this usual kind of travel and going back to a hotel room. When that kind of washed over us, we really realized we're liking this and it's working for us.
We feel that Guadeloupe was an early port where we really started to relax into exploring our destinations. We explored the city, we went to the spice market, and we really just had fun with where we were. And you can really see that in the video where we seemed a lot more relaxed. Take a look. We're exploring the city, but one of the things we realize as we walk along is that in addition to exploring, it's just really nice to be able to be on dry land, to get off the ship and kind of walk around for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, having a different perspective and being able to walk without having to do a turn and go around the curve of the ship is kind of cool. And just getting out of here with other people and seeing things that are different is nice. Plus, you get your feet on the ground. Like you said, you get grounded to the earth.
It's all a good thing.
We're in Guadeloupe, which is actually a French-speaking island, which is really cool for me because it reminds me a bit of home. I grew up in Louisiana, and my parents were primarily French speakers. That was their first language. So whenever I hear the locals speak, it always reminds me of my mom and dad.
And it reminds me of high school French. So I took 3 years of French in high school, so I'm asking everybody, où est la piscine and où est Didier?
So we're being triggered a little bit and having fun with it.
The Dominican Republic was really kind of a turning point for us. It really drove it home, this thing we're talking about right now. And in the beginning, we had this amazing, rich cultural experience. We went and had all kinds of explorations around the island, met and hung out with a local Dominican family that made a meal for us. And if you haven't seen that video, check that out. So it was just a really rich, wonderful, very different day. What you didn't see, though, is later on, we went to the mall. And we went to this mall, and it was all of a sudden like this very normal experience. And even though we were way far from Washington, D.C., in the Dominican Republic, it just felt like another day at the mall. So we're having these very integrated experiences between something as cool as sitting down with a Dominican family we had never met before and literally going to the mall. And that is kind of an example of what we're talking about here in terms of this experience for us.
We just wanted to kind of comment on what this experience is like. It's still kind of remarkable to us that every day we can just pretty much leave our house and we're in another country and we embark on a brand new adventure.
It's really a different experience and we're digging it. It's like you have your routine at home and then you look out the door and you're somewhere new and you can choose to go or not because you're here a long time. So it's this really neat combination of being at home and traveling. We're really liking it so far. And what I love, and I think you agree, is we can still have our routine and we can still travel too without having to feel like we don't have one or the other. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so true. We do love our routine, so that doesn't get messed up too much, and we still get to spend the rest of the day having a brand new experience. We found a real treat in the Dominican Republic. We came across a major department store. It's kind of like a Target.
Yeah, we found a lot of stuff we've been looking for, especially a shoe rack that I desperately needed, and some cosmetics, stuff for the bathroom, that kind of stuff. So it was really nice to be able to find this stuff because Amazon's not delivering here right now.
And what's really cool is that it's about a holiday time here right now, so they were playing Christmas music. So after being in the Caribbean for quite a while, it kind of got us in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, 90 degrees Christmas music and shorts.
Remember the time when we decided to rent a car with our friends and explore the island of Antigua? If you don't remember that, go back and check out that video because it was just a fun day. It was a really fun day. Now, at first, the idea of renting a car and exploring this foreign country, it felt really daunting to us. But thanks to our friends, we did it, and it ended up being such a feeling of freedom. Yeah. And we realized that we could do this no matter where we went in the world. Well, pretty much we can do that, and it really boosted our self-confidence to be able to do that. So take a look at this video.
We're here on the beach and we are super relaxed. This has been wonderful, and it's the kind of thing that comes with no stress, and we did it on our own, and because the ship's here overnight, we're not even worried about when we get home. Our rental car was an easy transaction, especially because our friend did it, but we've gone all over the island today and we've wound up here. So listen, this is pretty rocking, and we've had a great time, and we look forward to coming back to Antigua sometime in the near future. I think our time in Panama City is when we really got clarity. I mean, this is when we were in the largest mall in Latin America. And let me tell you, it was huge. It was ginormous. And we're just sitting there kind of observing the world and participating as locals. Instead of running around to tourist sites and that kind of stuff, we were just in the moment at the mall. And it really hit us at that point, and we'll show you in a second, that we were now in this different spot and we were both kind of digging it. We weren't running around as tourists. We were actually doing what we're calling integrated exploration. Check out the video now.
We took a group taxi from the cruise terminal with some of the other Odyssey residents and made our way to the largest mall in all of Latin America.
So we're going to do some pretty serious shopping today at Allbrook Mall in Panama City, Panama. As you can see, we've just entered the building. This thing looks massive. Our friend Angel has told us about it. He's been here before. But you can see we're here at Christmas time, so we're starting off with Santa and Miss Claus and the elves. But we think we're going to be here for quite a while today, and we're really looking forward to exploring it all.
We have had our first purchase of the day, and it's pretty darn good. I went into this store and bought 2 new shirts. They're similar to this one, but just a little bit more colorful. You can see them here. See if you can spot them in a future video. What's great about this is that they were 2 for $15, plus another $1 for the sales tax. Not bad. Let's go do some more shopping. We've taken a break from shopping to get a bite to eat. So we've gotten pizza and we have sangria as well. And it's delicious. Now this is a real treat for us. Normally we have all of our meals on the ship, on the Odyssey, because it's included in everything that we pay for, right? But you know, we need to kind of mix the taste buds up a bit every now and again. So it's really nice to come out here and try something a little different.
So I was just sitting here talking to my friend and Chris behind the camera, and it's interesting. We're in the middle of a mall in Panama City. And as we were sitting here just kind of strolling along, doing our thing, we started talking, number one, about how lucky we are and how lucky we feel to be doing this. And, you know, the vibe that kind of came along with that was we really feel like now we're not traveling as, you know, vacationers anymore. This is our life. And this is kind of this moment we've realized today, sitting in the middle of a mall that almost feels like we'd be at home in Panama City, Panama. And we're kind of loving the fact that we don't feel like tourists anymore. We're getting adjusted. We're living our lives. And it's getting more and more normal to pull up into a port, drive 15 minutes into a city, and then be in a mall. We're kind of liking this. And of course, it's got this mix of seeing things we've never seen before, along with days like today that feel very familiar, but are really our new lifestyle. This is working for us. And we had this epiphany today, and the panda told me to share it with you, so here we are.
Our home, the Villa Vie Odyssey, is constantly moving, it's constantly evolving, and it's constantly offering us a fresh new perspective. I mean, we are living a life of perpetual discovery where every day offers us a brand new adventure.
And that, my friends, is kind of the net of what we're talking about today. This is a whole different way of exploring for us. And instead of running around the way we used to, even in the slow way that we used to, we're now in a home base that feels like home, where we have the room and the space and the comfort to be here. And then we walk outside our door and we explore the world. And that is a very different way of being. And of course, this continues, you know, for years. So that is what we are talking about. That's the shift we've made and the nuance that we've been trying to get in and talk to you about today. Now, Chris has created a term for this called integrated exploration. which I'm not even sure I understand. It's, very cerebral, which is not a surprise, but that's what he's calling it. Again, integrating exploration into our lives. I like to call it travel from home. So, a little simpler. I understand it. But tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Do you like his? Do you like mine? Are we both all wet? Do you have something better? But as always, thank you so much for being here. We're having so much fun sharing this with you and so appreciate all you do to support us through your comments and your likes and all the views out there. So keep the comments coming. We love them, every one of them. We'll see you soon, and we can't wait to keep exploring more with you.
See you soon.
Bye.